This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Okay, let's jump right in. Picture this. You've just been offered an incredible executive job. The role is perfect. The pay is fantastic. You are absolutely ready to sign. It feels like you've hit the jackpot.
But hang on a second. Before you pop the champagne, did you really read the fine print? Because hiding in that legal language, there could be something that turns this dream job into a total nightmare down the road.
So let's talk about this hidden clause. It's the kind of thing most people skim over in all the excitement, but trust me, understanding it is absolutely critical for protecting your career.
So what are we actually talking about here? It's called a non-compete clause. Basically, it's a part of your contract that says, hey, after you leave us, you can't go work for a competitor for a certain amount of time. Now, it's supposed to protect the company, but it can end up boxing you in. And here's where it gets really dangerous. The problem is when the language is super vague. I'm talking about clauses that say you can't work in your entire industry or for any related company. This isn't just about protecting a few secrets. This is a trap that can lock you out of your own profession.
And the consequences of signing one of these bad boys? It's not just some minor inconvenience. We're talking about putting your entire career on ice. For any senior leader, this is a huge deal. Being sidelined isn't just about being out of a job. It means you lose all that precious momentum. You're no longer in the loop. The network you spent years, maybe decades building, starts to go cold. It's a career timeout you never asked for and definitely can't afford. And how long are we talking? Often, these things demand 1 to 2 years. Just think about that. 24 months. In today's world where things change in a blink, a 2-year gap doesn't just pause your career, it can seriously derail it.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds bad, but that's a C-suite problem, right? Well, not so fast. Let me tell you a quick story that shows just how far down the ladder this risk goes.
So there was this director-level guy, not even C-suite. He signed a really broad non-compete. What happened? He was forced to sit on the bench for a full year. And get this, the company paid him something to keep the clause legally valid, but it was just a tiny fraction of his salary. He took a massive hit, both in his wallet and his career.
Okay, I know that sounds pretty terrifying, but here's the good news. You are not powerless here. Seeing a non-compete in your offer isn't the end of the road. In fact, it's the start of a really important conversation. Let's be real. Having some kind of non-compete is pretty standard, especially the higher up you go. Companies have real things they need to protect. So just seeing one in the contract is not a red flag to just walk away from the whole deal. The key isn't getting rid of the clause entirely. What really, truly matters is making sure the language is reasonable for you and actually enforceable where you live. That's where you have the power.
And that leads us to the most important point. These terms are not written in stone. You can, and you absolutely should, negotiate them. Think about it. They're hiring you to be a leader. A big part of that is showing you can advocate for a fair deal right from the start.
So what does a smart negotiation actually look like? Well, your whole goal is to take that dangerously broad language and sharpen it into something specific and fair for everyone involved. Just look at the difference here. A dangerous clause says you can't work in your entire industry for 24 months. That's a career killer, plain and simple. What you want is something reasonable, like you can't actively poach a specific list of clients for maybe 6 to 12 months. See? One puts you in a cage, the other just puts up a small fence. And that timeline is just so crucial. A 24-month ban, like we said, can completely wreck your career momentum. Your goal is to get that number way, way down. Push for something like 6 to 12 months. That gives you a path to get back in the game before you're forgotten. So let's recap your mission. Here are your negotiation goals. 1, slash that time period. 2, shrink the geographic area so you're not locked out of your own city. And 3, this is the big one, change the wording from the entire industry to a short, specific list of direct competitors or clients.
That's how you protect yourself. So the next time one of those amazing offers lands in your inbox, and it will, you'll know what to do. You won't just look at the salary. You'll flip right to the fine print, and you'll be ready to negotiate. Not just for a job, but for your entire future. Will you be ready?